pretty much a standard venture capital firm in the sense of our basic structure. However, which meant, as Rick said, what we used to do was primarily first, Series A rounds, putting in $4 million or something like that. In the last couple of years, we've done about 5 or 6 deals, which started out as seed investments, meaning that we would put in 300, 400K or so, and just to see what happens, and then if things work, put in more. A couple of examples. One would be Zeus, where we were the initial seed investor, and in that case, 400K of seed investment between us and Plug and Play. They got to break even in 6 months. We've subsequently put in $40 million more dollars. So they got to break even on 400K. They're in the consumer space. It's expensive customer acquisition. It makes sense. And so, we then poured on the money, and, our contribution out of that 40 is about 6 or 7 of that. So in that case, we did a seed investment, like an angel might, but then we continued on. Another example would be Clusterix, which was a company that came out of Y Combinator, and then was picked up for funding by us, Sequoia Capital and USVP, and again, we put in between the 3 of us, about $30 million into that company. So again, that was a seed coming out of an incubator type of environment, which then kind of went on to the next stage. And I think one of the big differences here is to differentiate between when you're doing a seed, where do you plan to end up? And if you plan to end up selling your company for $15 or $20 million, then angel investors and some seeds, that's all you need. As a founder, you own still a lot of the company. You sell for $15 million, everybody's really happy. If you show up at Sequoia Capital trying to raise money, they're going to want you to sell the company for $1 billion. So, and raise a bunch of money and make something big. So, when you go looking for funding, whether it's seed or otherwise, one of the things you have to recognize as an entrepreneur is this an idea that's going to exit at 15 or 20 million, or is this an idea that has legs on it that will go to 200 or 300 million? And that really determines a lot of how you are going to finance your company. And small is great. You can make a lot of money small. You make a lot of money big. Where you lose is you raise a bunch of money and then you sell for 20 million. That's when nobody's happy. And then everyone gets mad at everybody else saying, how come, why are we here? And, I actually throw that back on the entrepreneur and say, it's the entrepreneur's choice to guide the funding strategy of the company. And to me, all models work and all models are good so long as the model meets the reality of the situation.
I'm going to add myself as a 5th panelist. As Naeem noted,